Recently I was shopping and I found a strawberry shirt that was kind of cute, but the fabric of the shirt was not really, it wasn't very soft. It was kind of scratchy, and I just thought, I can do better than that. Most crafters often will think, oh, you know, I see something I like and want to make my own version. And since I had recently designed some strawberry dingbats, I thought this was a great way to use them. So I ended up coming home and creating this shirt. As you can see, it has 10 different strawberries on it, and these are all part of my dingbat, strawberry dingbat set. If you're not familiar with dingbats are a lot of fun because dingbats can go along with a font and can be additional images that relate to the font or add to the font in some way. And a full dingbat set is usually to the alphabet. So you're getting at least 26 images or doodles or drawings that have a similar theme. And I like to do doodly dingbats. And so I had done a set of strawberry dingbats, and I thought this was a great way to use them and turn them into a shirt. So I'm going to show you some ways that one of the ways that you can utilize dingbats in making your own creations. The first thing you need to know when using dingbats is the dingbats need to be uploaded to your computer the same way you would upload any other font. It needs to be on your computer before you open up Silhouette Studio. If it's not and you upload it afterwards, you need to close Silhouette and reopen it in order for it to show up. So I'm going to show you how simple this is. There's a couple different ways. You can see your fonts and things over here in a text style, and you can see that Strawberry Dingbats is the one that I most recently used, and so that's what's going to show up. But I will show you how great it is if we're just going to do text, and I'm going to start typing, and I'm going to go through the alphabet. GHIJKLM. And then like I said, I did 0 through 9, so 0, 1, 8, and 9. I'm going to go and highlight everything, and I'm going to change the font, the size of the font to 200 so that it is nice and large. I want everything, I could have done that from the beginning. I want everything large to begin with. And I'm going to show you some tips so that you can make the tops of the strawberries line up. So as you can see, the dingbats are all in a solid color, and right now it's just the outline for cutting. I'm going to reselect everything, and I'm going to go ahead and select a fill because they're strawberries. I'm going to make it red. Now you can see what you can see the differences in the strawberries this way when the fill is selected. The next thing I'm going to do is ungroup everything so that I have all individual, so my strawberries are all separate. And while I'm at it, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to highlight, or I'm going to select the tops, and I'm going to make all the tops green. So what's really great about using something like this is because you've got so many options. You can really use whatever you would like. You don't have to use the same 10 strawberries that I used. The other thing that I had fun with was I used scraps of heat transfer vinyl. I keep a container of leftover scraps, as well as I sort them by color eventually so that I can utilize them in different ways. And I really enjoy being able to use up as many craft supplies as I can, even my little scraps sometimes. So this was a great project using a variety of the scraps as well as colors from the selection that I have behind me. I picked a variety of reds. I had 2 different shades of red and 3 shades of pink. All right, so to start with, I'm going to grab this strawberry right here, and I'm going to move this over. And I'm going to select, even though we've got that top on there, I am going to select this top because I might want to use the tops again. I'm going to copy that one. I don't want any of my strawberries the same, so I know that I am going to, I'm not going to copy. If I was going to use them again, I would just make a copy, but I'm going to do them all different. So I don't need to have a copy of the strawberry. When I ungrouped the strawberries, it turned each of them into an individual image, and they're no longer connected to the letter. So I can't highlight, I can't select it and just change the letter and get a different strawberry. So it's ready for me to use as an image this way. And what I find one of the easiest things to do, because I want to remove this top part here because I want the green, I want the top to be green, and I want the little stem on it. So the easiest thing to do, I like to zoom in a little bit more and have my strawberry highlighted or selected. And I'm going to take my eraser and I'm going to come up right against the edge here and just click once. And then I'm going to go over to the other side and click once. And now I'm going to move my strawberry out of the way, select the rest of this and delete because I don't need it. And then you can see that I can just kind of line this up a little bit, and my tops go over when I ironed everything on, the tops went just over the top of the strawberry. So that works. I'm happy with that. If I wanted to get in really close and clean that up, I could. However, I did not feel that it was necessary because the top overlaps it. I liked the top overlapping it a little bit. Now what I want to do is select both of these and I want to group this. And I'm going to show you again a second one just to show you how we can make some differences in this. And for this one, I'm going to select, let's go with this strawberry. Nope, I want to work with this strawberry. And I'm going to work with this funkier top. So I'm going to make a copy of it. And that's the one I'm going to put up here with the one that I'm working on. Again, I'm going to zoom in. So I can see the one that I'm working with. While it is selected, I'm going to take my eraser, do the same thing I did last time. Get a little closer. That one I cleaned up a little bit more. Move this out of the way and delete the scrap that I don't need. And I'm going to line up my strawberry top. Again, I'm going to select both parts and I'm going to group them together. It's important to group them together because you could do your strawberries all the same size if you want. I chose to do mine a variety of different sizes. I wanted to make sure that the top and the strawberry itself and the strawberry top stayed the correct proportion. So by grouping them together, I don't have to worry about accidentally sizing one differently. Now what's really great is if you hold your shift key down and you select what you've grouped together, you can enlarge the strawberry and keep it in proportion. If you wanted to skew it a little bit and make it a tall, skinny strawberry, you could, or you could make it a short and squatty strawberry, and you could adjust the strawberries any way you like. So to make this shirt and to make it yourself, you would go ahead and select, continue to select the strawberries that you wanted, as many as you wanted, make them the size that you want. These happen to be about, with the top, about 2 inches tall for that one, and this one I made about 3 inches tall. And then go ahead and cut them out of whatever vinyl you like, and I will show you how I assembled it. I'll meet you at my heat press. I start by pressing my shirt and then pressing a center line down the middle so I get an idea of where the middle of my shirt is. And then I like to lay it out right on the base of the machine. And once it's in a good spot, I'm aware that the heat press is hot, and I start to lay out my strawberries. I laid the strawberries out randomly and differently than I had originally planned. Always keeping in mind that my heat press was hot, I shifted them, moved them, and basically worked with them until I was happy with the overall layout. Once I was happy with them, it was time to press. Just 15 seconds at 305 was what my vinyl called for, and then I removed the transfer tape paper. Next, I started adding the tops of the strawberries. I wish I had kept better track of which top was meant to go with which strawberry. I got a little confused, so it took a little bit of extra work. Once it was all set up and I liked the way it looked, and a little shifting, then it was time to press again. With all the tops pressed, I removed the transfer tape. Shifted everything to make sure that it was completely on my press and gave it one last press. So you can see there's actually a lot you can do with dingbats. I think it's really fun, and there's a lot of creativity that can be done with dingbats, and they're also great because you're getting a group of frequently 26. If it is a complete dingbat set, you're getting a group of, and font is not a part of it. You're getting 26, at least 26 different images that work together in some way. This is another t-shirt that I made that I said earlier. Dingbats also. This is a set of 26 heart dingbats that I also have. I chose for this one, I used the same dingbat and in the same size, and I just laid them out in rainbow color. This was another fun one to use for use up my heat transfer vinyl scraps. So in fact, I wore this one a lot, and I wore it the other day and just pulled that out of my laundry basket to share. I did a very quick video on the laying out of that one that I will link below as well, so you can see that was super quick. I did it more of a just showing the laying out of that shirt instead of how to actually utilize it. And I think I have that as a final product as well, that you could actually make it exactly like I did with the colors all set up and everything. So I hope that playing with dingbats and using dingbats in your own designs and your own creations is something that you'll try. And I would love for you to tag me on Instagram and share a project that you make out of my dingbats or other dingbats, something that you might have learned how to do from this. Have fun crafting. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and hit subscribe so you don't miss the next project. Want even more crafty fun? Head over to Harper & Co, where you can sign up to get 5 days of free downloads. It's my treat to you.